gimmicks. Yeah. No gimmicks, taking over, no limits. Motivation, the truth inside everything you are hearing. Important live, know you feel it. Wrestling is everything that we will know with special meaning. We on it live with no gimmicks. No gimmicks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Todd Smith here once again, alongside my tag team partner Dale Clifford out there in Fernley, Nevada. Welcome to yet another episode of No Gimmicks Podcast, broadcasting on the 3 and Out Radio Network. Dale, what's good, my man?
What is up, Todd? Kind of a bit of a exciting interview that we got going here. Last minute guest, excited to have on here. Obviously, to follow the big news from the end of the Royal Rumble. So let's go ahead and get to our guest here.
So I thought I was the only Todd that was going to be featured in the No Gimmicks Podcast, but I'll be damned, I was not correct about that at all. Joining us this evening on the No Gimmicks Podcast, voice of Glory Kickboxing, also the UFC, also you've seen him with the WWE, and my former coworker from ESPN. Without any further ado, I give to y'all Todd Grisham. How you doing, my man?
Thank you for having me on, gentlemen. I appreciate it. I'm doing well. I had to find some headphones for this podcast. I looked around the entire house. The only ones I could find are these. I think they're My Little Pony.
They are adorable, Todd. Absolutely adorable.
That my 5-year-old wears, but I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. What do you guys got for me?
Tell your 5-year-old thanks. We appreciate it, man. So, hey, the big story coming from the conclusion of last night's Royal Rumble, which Dale had said was the hot topic that's been on both social media and news outlets all day today. The confirmation that former UFC star Ronda Rousey has signed a full-time deal with the WWE. Todd, what's your thoughts on what has become a very huge news story?
I think it's a win-win for both sides. And I tweeted yesterday that if Ronda Rousey puts in 100% and is committed completely to it and nothing else, and if WWE is 100% committed to helping her help make her a star in the WWE, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Without question, my man. Hey, so Del, what you got next for Todd Grisham?
So obviously, there's some controversy a little bit is like in how it happened with her spoiling Asuka's moment a little bit, and then leading some to believe that there might be a match involving any of the parties involved at the end. But the big rumor seems to be related to the WrestleMania 31 tease that we've got, that there's going to be a tag team match and she's going to be partnered up with The Rock to take on Triple H and Stephanie. Do you think that's kind of the best route for them to go?
Wow, I haven't even heard that. That's very interesting. Well, as you guys know, you've covered the sports entertainment game long enough to know that at WrestleMania is not easy to do. So you can't just say, oh, Ronda Rousey's going to go fight so-and-so. She's never had a match in her life, and she's going to wrestle in front of 70,000 people at WrestleMania. That's a big task. So to put her into some sort of tag match, some sort of gimmick match where you can kind of, you can hide her a little bit and help her a little bit and kind of ease her into the spotlight. That's kind of what you got to do for everyone's sake. You don't want to send her out there and make her look bad. That helps nobody.
No doubt. I couldn't have said any better myself there, Todd. So, hey, while we're on the topic of crossover athletes, I'm going to throw one name at you in particular that has also been a hot topic lately, that being Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has been an active competitor in Bellator. Also, he recently completed his obligations with Impact Wrestling. So rumor has it is that he will be returning to the WWE pretty soon here. Do you feel that this leaves his MMA future in doubt?
I think it does. I don't think WWE will let him do both. Because when they get somebody like Bobby Lashley or get a big star like that to come back and he's with them full time, why would you risk your number one asset or one of your top assets for nothing? Now, if Bobby Lashley comes to them and says, I'm only coming back if I'm still doing MMA, then you might see him come back for one card. Maybe he makes a WrestleMania appearance or maybe he does Survivor Series, something like that. But as far as coming back full time, you got to be a mega star like The Rock.
Got you. Yeah, it was kind of risky when they went that route with Lesnar, so it will be interesting to see how they handle his push and whatnot when he comes back. So, Del, what you got next for Todd here?
So obviously, it kind of feels like Lashley's in between the mixed martial arts and then professional wrestling, leading more towards getting heavy on the wrestling side. While there's another guy that's now stepping away from the wrestling world and turning towards Bellator. Jack Hager, formerly Jack Swagger. So what do you kind of think the transition is going to be like for him?
Jack Swagger, he's a great guy. I love that guy. We worked together for several years, and I can't remember the match or even where we were, but he was cutting a promo in the ring, and he was a heel, obviously, and the fans were so that he could not stop laughing. So he just stood there in the ring for like 10, 15 minutes. And I believe it was SmackDown, which is a show that is, at the time, was taped, so they could edit it out. But I seriously remember Jack Swagger, at least 20 minutes, just trying not to laugh. He couldn't even talk because his body was shaking. That the arena was making him laugh so hard he couldn't even go. That's my favorite Jack Swagger moment. As for him coming over to Bellator and doing MMA, good for him, man. If anybody has the credentials to do it, he's got them. I mean, he's an all-American, right? Anybody that's got a base like that in wrestling, I don't care what the rest of your game looks like, you're not going to embarrass yourself pretty much, especially if you get the guy to the ground. So Jack Swagger, Daniel Cormier, I mean, some of these big-time great wrestlers, Brock Lesnar, you go over there, you're going to have some success. You're not going to look like an idiot. CM Punk obviously tried to do that. He didn't have those credentials, and you saw what happened to him. But Jack Swagger is going to embarrass himself unless he gets caught with an early punch or kick to the head and gets knocked out in 20 seconds, which can happen to anybody.
That. So now, who do you feel would be an ideal opponent for JK as he makes that transition over to Bellator, Todd?
Is he wrestling heavyweight or light heavyweight?
I'm guessing he's got to be a heavyweight. He's a big mofo. I've seen him in person. He's about 6'6", 6'7", probably about 250, 260.
He's probably no, I don't think he's that tall. I would guess 6'5".
Okay.
Look that up, Dale. How tall is damn Jack Swagger? That's what we got to find out. To me, it's not so much who the opponent is; it's the style of opponent. And you want someone that's going to go to the ground with him. You don't want someone that's a great striker. You don't want to put someone in there that's going to just not go down with him and stand up and throw kicks and punches, because that's not what Swagger is going to do. He's going to be a ground and pound guy. So you want someone that's willing to go to the ground with him.
Okay, well said. So now go for it.
So the Wikipedia build height is 6'7". So I would probably say you're pretty close to probably right at 5.
Yeah.
No, he's a big guy. Yeah, so he's probably most definitely going to be a heavyweight.
Country strong too, no doubt.
All those wrestlers who've been doing their whole lives, their hands just are. You just look at their hands, you can just tell that they're so strong. Handshakes, they can crush you just with their paws. Just like you, Todd.
Hey, so last but not least, in your honest opinion here, Todd, do you feel that we will ever get to see Conor McGregor in a WWE ring?
Yes.
When?
Well, Jonathan Coachman was over here the other night. We were actually talking about that, and he made a good point. He's like, every day you're out of the public eye, your stardom kind of dies a little bit. So if he doesn't have, let's say he doesn't do anything this year with UFC, he just kind of floats around. He talks about, but he doesn't have an MMA match. He doesn't have another boxing match, and he doesn't do any WWE. Him coming to the WWE to have a match would not be nearly as big a deal. So I think he's got to do something this year, either be a big UFC fight, a big boxing match, or WWE. He's got to do something. Now, if he does one of those things, let's say he does either boxing or MMA, has a fight in November, and then does WrestleMania, huge deal.
True that, man. Hey, so this next segment here that we're about to do, Todd, is called 10 Count. So the way this will work is with you being a man who's surrounded, by MMA fighters and kickboxers and whatnot, you're used to dealing with that 10 count that they have to get up on their feet after they ain't got knocked to the ground. So the first question we have for you that you need to answer in 10 seconds or less is, who would you like to see compete in your dream MMA bout? The clock starts now.
It's going to sound cheesy. Francis Ngannou versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay. Dale, what you got for him next?
Did you realize that Cody Rhodes likes you because you make him feel tall?
Did I realize that? No, I didn't realize that.
I interviewed him and he made sure that he knew that, he said, this Todd right here, he said, you need to go ahead and straddle your legs and bend down a little bit to make me feel taller like Todd Grisham would do. He said that.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? I'm more than one time I made Rey Mysterio look like he was 7'5". I mean, I was basically doing the freaking limbo, I was like, you know what they should do?
my legs spread to get shorter. Why not just make me the quote unquote handicapped backstage reporter and put me in a wheelchair? You know what I mean? Then I'm always just gonna be like this the whole time.
You crazy. Hey, who wins?
Trust me, it looks crazy. You walk backstage and I'm seriously standing with my legs. I'm almost doing like the hockey goalie split to hold my microphone up. People are walking around and going, what is this guy doing?
Dude, that's got to be uncomfortable AF, my friend. Hey, who wins in a shoot fight? Max Bretos or the coach?
Each other? Coach would kill Max. I mean, Max wouldn't even show up for the fight. It would not be a fight because Max would just not show up. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right, we got this on recording now.
Bro, I think if you get Max on here and he says that he can beat Coach up, trust me, and Coach will be beating him up.
What you got next for Todd?
All right, so a better dancer, you or Nick Saban?
Oh God. Well, Nick Saban. I'm going to go with Nick Saban just because every time I've seen him dance, it's either like, some old timey type, square dancing, or it's like one of those line dances, which I'm terrible at. I cannot memorize the next step. Now, if we had a freestyle competition or disco, for some reason, I was good at disco in high school.
Saturday Night Fever?
Dance disco. Like an idiot. Yes. So if it's freestyle or disco, I'd take myself any sort of choreographed dance or memorization dance, line dance, Nick Saban, Roll Tide Roll.
All right, Todd. So who you got in Super Bowl 52, the Eagles or the Patriots?
I got the Patriots. Part of me wants the Eagles to win just because, but I mean, the Patriots always find a way to win, and they're going to do it again. Super Bowl ring. His sixth, I believe.
Even if it means they got to pay the refs off, right?
Do whatever you got to do, man. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Okay, Bobby the Brain. Hey, what you got next from Dale?
All right, so if given the opportunity, which soccer club would you sign with?
Wow, like a dream. I mean, gosh, I used to love Arsenal. So I'd say Arsenal, but right now, I mean, to play with Leo Messi at Barcelona, no brainer for me.
Okay. Cool, man. Hey, so this time we would like to give you the opportunity to promote Glory Kickboxing or any upcoming appearances or projects which you're involved in. So this time, Todd Grisham, the floor is yours, my man.
All right, Booyakasha. We're going to be in Chicago, Illinois, February 16th, Glory 50, which is a massive, massive milestone for the company. We've got on our Glory Kickboxing Twitter page and Instagram, we have the top 50 moments in Glory history. We count them down day by day. I think we're in the mid-20s right now. So it's going to be a huge event. You can see it on ESPN3 and on UFC Fight Pass. So that's where I'll be, Glory Kickboxing. You can find me on Twitter at Grisham MMA and on Instagram at Todd Grisham.
Yes, sir. Hey, one thing is for sure. We wish we could sit up here and talk about MMA and kickboxing and all that good stuff with my man Todd Grisham all night long. But fortunately, we have came to the end of this MMA talk / interview with Todd Grisham. Hey, thanks for tuning in for this episode of the No Gimmicks Podcast. We are No Gimmicks, No Image, all wrestling all the time. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos. Todd, it's been a pleasure, my man.
No gimmicks. Yeah. No gimmicks, taking over, no limits. Motivation, the truth inside everything you are hearing. Important live, know you feel it. Wrestling is everything that we will know with special meaning. We on it live with no